in the air, I would certainly love to give a special thank you to my buddy Ryan. Ryan is the master of the deal. He sold me his MaxJack 2-post lift on a third sale. He bought it from someone, and Ryan graciously passed that savings on to me. And it comes with a little trolley cart there. I have it mounted on the wall. You see is the reservoir and the controller. And all I did was run the lines up across the ceiling in the attic space, lucky enough to have access to it, and ran it vertically down to each post. Just bought some extra hydraulic hoses and it worked out beautifully. So as I showed you earlier, the interior of the car is completely factory. And as my experience and speeds have grown, of course, it's time to start thinking of safety. And I must admit, I did not break the bank on my first safety purchase, which are these replica, I'll say it nicely, GT2 seats that I bought. They are fiberglass reinforced plastic backs. The leather is genuine imitation. They're actually quite surprisingly good, but I've already talked with a upholsterer here in town and assured me that he can reupholster these seats for me if I choose to keep them. I will provide a review and a link to where I purchased them. And again, dabbing my toe into the seat game, both of these seats were $700. So if they don't work out, I'll just put the factory seats back in them without no fuss and move on from there. But I've already started looking at an OMP seat to replace these if I enjoy the experience. So also, I wanted to point out my brush guards. Now I had to take off the front bumper cover to do these, but all these they're coated gutter screens. Excuse me, I couldn't speak. Coated gutter screens. Now these side ones, they are structural. You can push on these, no problem. But the front one, let me back up a little bit. The front one, I did not want to drill into this front fascia here. So it does a fairly good job. I probably do need to take out the front bumper and clean that out. The cover at least, vacuum that out soon. But I just used the edge of my bench and a rubber mallet and created this 90-degree bend down here at the bottom. And I have it secured with the zip ties on the top and on the sides behind here in the front of it. It does a fairly good job to protect the radiator. And again, the side. Okay, so a disclaimer, this car is not a garage queen. This car has seen lots and lots of track miles and seen lots of love. So my background as a U.S. Army maintenance test pilot on the OH-58 Delta has given me some aerodynamics classes and knowledge, and I was completely wrong. My initial thoughts on aerodynamics was Bernoulli's principle. Speed the air up, down the center, lower its pressure, and let it escape the back in a gentle and graceful fashion. I could not have been more wrong. And how I knew I was wrong is I saw pictures finally of the GT4 RS. If you notice, I have the factory air ducts here for brake cooling, but also these GT4 RS ducts are direct fit. They bolt right on. I think I might have had to drill one hole, and they take the air from the center of the car and create an air current along the side to keep the air from getting caught up in the rear wheel well. Now, a word of caution. a little good, a lot better. That is not the case with this extra rib. If you notice, this extra rib ends approximately where the bolt-on GT4 RS ends. I initially had this radius extend all the way out to the end or the side of the vehicle. I could actually tell, driving the car, that the car was unbalanced and upset. I came home from the track session and immediately cut that extra piece down to the pictures I saw on the internet where I should have been. I guess the engineers truly do know what they're doing. And we'll see here, which would be the left side of the car. Looking from the front rear, it's the right. Get my head out of the way. And you can see it gracefully takes the air and pushes it out to the side. Now what I did was I got on eBay and I found a GT3 body panel that bolts almost directly to the existing holes for the Cayman. So from the GT3 body panel that I got on eBay, these are direct bolt on again from the GT4 RS. Now, word of caution, these snap on and don't fit exceedingly well on our lower control arms. However, they do fit, and I had to use little pieces to jam up in the snap-on connectors there so that they wouldn't become undone. And I've had these on the car at least 4 or 5 track days without any incident at all. And again, retaining the factory brake cooling ducts. These will snap right on the lower control arm with no issue. I initially had these NICA ducts removed and I made plates for them, but for cooling reasons and sanity reasons, I left them in, and there's no issue at all. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So the GT4 and the GT4 RS has their tunnel. Well, all this is one big sheet of aluminum that I found at my local hardware store and formed with a 1-gallon paint can and a rubber mallet again on the edge of my bench, a workbench, to create these radiuses. And you'll see they secure with one screw there. That's the, see, that's the bottom of the screw there. Again, just purely takes the air from the panels and gracefully arcs it up behind the vehicle as to not put it in the parachute of the rear bumper cover. I still have plenty of cooling air. As you can see, the exit of the NICA duct there. And I'm also going to focus on the rear sway bar momentarily. Again, there's my fasteners and my plenty of air gap between the Porsche Sport exhaust and my piece of aero. I'll give you a side view. Plenty of space.